Hello YouTube, today we're going to talk about how to rust-proof your vehicle the best you can while you're on a budget. I went to Harbor Freight and picked up a paint sprayer, automotive paint sprayer, for I believe it was 20 bucks. If you had the coupon, it's 15. And I used a 6-gallon air compressor to do this vehicle. It did run for the most part consistently while I was using it, but nothing bad. You know, it can do the job, just not, it's not professional whatsoever. But the nice thing about this oil is what I did to undercoat the vehicle. And the nice thing about that is that it doesn't have to come out consistently because it's going to drip, and it'll eventually settle out to an even form. So this method is used by farmers back in the 1900s with their farm equipment. And it's still used today because it's so cheap to do. Motor oil is probably the cheapest method. If you want to go up, step up a little bit, you can use bar and chain oil. That's usually a little bit better because it's designed to go on a chainsaw, and when the chain is spinning around, that oil is designed to stick on it, so it's going to stick on your frame really good because your frame's not moving nearly as much as the chain blade is. So you can see a little rust starting right here. We did not do the wheel well because we're going to put a primer or a bed liner in this area to kind of protect against rocks flying up and hitting this. But yeah, you just spray as all the frame you can with the oil of whatever choice you're using. I missed on this Silverado, it's got an aluminum drive shaft, so we did not have to spray that. You also want to miss the muffler right there, because that's going to heat up, and you don't want a burning oil, especially you don't want a fire underneath your car. But besides that, you want to try and get all the framework you can, any structural components. You can get some moving parts depending on what it is, as long as there's nothing you hit with rubber. Another thing is body panels like the tailgate, your doors. A lot of them have access holes that are already built in. I used a separate nozzle, a long nozzle, to spray oil into there. That's kind of an extra step, but if you could actually just take a cup and pour oil right in there, or even use a funnel and just get oil in this, so when it seeps down into the base of the tailgate, that's where all the water is going to seep anyways. So it's going to protect against moisture and condensation within the tailgate and body panels and frame. So, and another example would be an access point, like right here. You can just put oil directly in there and it's going to lay along the bottom here. This works for any vehicle. Even if it does have rust, it's going to prevent rust. So as long as you can put it on there before you encapsulate, if it's wet, I'd wait for the vehicle to dry, but if it's dry, even dirty, you can put the oil on and it'll still seep through. There's another side. If you want, before you put an oil coat on, you can put a primer on if you want to paint before the oil. I do suggest that. I did that with my vehicle, just so you get an extra layer of paint on there before you oil it up, because this oil is going to stay on there. I used motor oil for this truck, so it's going to stay here for probably about a year, maybe even more, before it wears away. But it's a good way to prevent rust, real cheap. If you have a spray gun and at least a few gallon compressor, you don't need anything fancy. Just to get the oil on there is the main concern. You can see right here, you just douse the thing in oil. You don't need to worry about it, because any of this you can kind of wash off a little bit, kind of rub it off. Eventually the rain will at least make it look so there's no oil look to it, but the residue is still there, which protects it. So if you have any comments or questions, I'll do my best to answer them. But besides that, I think I covered everything. So I hope you guys use this information to help you on your journey, or whatever you intend on using it for. So thank you guys for watching.